All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, wherever you might be. Thank you for joining today. My name is Jimmy Paulette. I am the Director of Client Services here at FastModel. I've worked with FastScout with coaches for the last 4 years, and I'm excited to kind of go through FastScout, show kind of the ins and outs, give you a really good tour of the product, so that you know how to use it, you know how to get started, and it's not so daunting when you get in. As a reminder, we're always available to be able to hop on a call or something like that to help you kind of work out the finer details. This will be generally a pretty big overview of a lot of the different features, how they can be incorporated, and the ways that you can kind of use them. And then from there, we can get a lot more specific in individual sessions. So thank you again for joining. This will be recorded as well. So if you would like a recording of this, please let your account manager know, and that I'll make sure that they get that over to you. One other point of reference here is this is a live webinar. I am doing this right now. So if you would like to be able to send me questions, that Q&A functionality, you should see it at the bottom of your screen. You can write that in there. Those questions will go directly to me. I will see them and I'll make sure to be able to answer them throughout the presentation. I'll take breaks every so often just to make sure that I'm caught up. So please feel free to utilize that Q&A. Again, only I will see that it's being asked, and I'll make sure to incorporate that when it is appropriate. So even if it's something you're asking a little early and I know that it's going to be there, but I'm going to get to it by the end, I'll make sure to plan that out accordingly. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Just again, to kind of go over what we're going to cover today. I call it kind of the FastScout tour, kind of go through all the sections, make sure you understand a lot of different functionalities that are available. We're going to go kind of the big terminology, like the different types of scouts, opponent or self scouts. What does a template mean? Offline mode, admin portal, things like that are kind of unique to our platform. What do they mean? How do you use them to best be effective? We're going to go through distribution. So how do I distribute my scouting reports? How do I print them off? How do I send them to the mobile app? And then our other option of presenter mode. And then along the way, as we're going through all of this, I'm going to give some tips and tricks that over my few years here that I've noticed with a lot of teams that I think might be helpful and effective for you on a day-to-day basis, that might not be as easy to see or spot, that I think could be very beneficial for you. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get to the demo here. Jump over to this screen here. Cool. This is my account. So this is not the official Southeast Missouri account. This is my personal account. You'll be able to log in on any computer anywhere at FastScout.FastModelSports.com. You should be set up with an email address and password that will be able to get you in. These first 2 pages that you will see, the My Team and Opponents, we'll go through quickly, but this is where you're going to be able to get a lot of the information that we're able to compile and get it in a quick and easy format for you to be able to see without having to go to a bunch of different spots. So we are pulling in all of this data from all of these teams through our partnership with the NCAA. We are pulling that into our system, and we want to make that very easy and create different dashboards for you to be able to access that information really easily. So for this exercise, I'm going to flip it back to last season because last season is the one with stats. So you can see that stats will populate in the system within an hour or two of the game ending. Typically, the process generally goes, the stats are sent from the game to the NCAA, and then from the NCAA directly to us. That generally comes as a pretty quick workflow within an hour or two of the game ending. So you'll see here, you'll see all of your different stats, kind of, again, a quick overview of the different stats. You have kind of your FastScout factors, points per period, advanced stats. You can view these as either in this table format, or you can move it to a chart format as well if you'd like to kind of see it through a different perspective. And you can do that with all these different ones. And then scrolling down here to the bottom, you'll be able to see a box score. You can toggle between averages, total, advanced stats, kind of seeing that from a personnel perspective for your particular team. And you'll notice that there are rankings where your team stands with all those particular stats. You can flip that between your division or the conference you're in as well. So if you're a Division II or Division III team, obviously that would be Division II or Division III for you. And then conference would be the individual conference you're in, where you stand at those particular stats. And you're also able to break those stats down by last 5, wins and losses, home versus away, conference, non-conference, et cetera, et cetera. Jump here to schedule. This will again update automatically throughout the season. So if you play in a tournament or something like that, game Friday and then Saturday, you don't know who your opponent is Saturday until it's played, until the game's finished Friday. That will just automatically update here in your schedule for you as well. Schedules should be pulled into the system here. I think the NCAA is still compiling all of them, but we expect to have most of them in the next couple weeks or so. You'll see all of your opponents listed here. Location, results, they'll see video connected to Synergy. This will pull up the Synergy web editor where you'll be able to access those particular games quickly and easily in the Synergy web editor, the video. And then you can also click on any particular game and you will be able to see the box score for that box score and play-by-play for that particular game. You'll be able to see that all quickly and easily. Notice that there are color codings on all of these stats indicating if they are above or below that season average. So Taylor Pruitt is normally 3.5 out of 10 or out of 10.6, and she went 8 for 18, so it's higher than average. So it highlights it a darker orange, darker blue, indicating it's below average. So normally averages 2 turnovers, but averaged 5 or went 5 for 5 in that game. You can toggle that off if you'd like to toggle that off as well, and then you can easily print this as well. And if this is kind of one of those tips and tricks that I mentioned, if you like to print off like the last 5 box scores or something like that, you can come in here, select any last 4 box scores like this, and hit this print button. And that's going to print off a 5-page report. The first page being the cumulative of those 4 games, and then those 4 individual box scores that we just saw there. So kind of gives you a nice compilation for that particular team. Again, a quick, easy way to be able to print off that particular information. We also have the roster in the system for you, player name, number, position, height, class, and player picture. And in men's basketball, we will also have weights as well. So there will also be an additional field for weight. You will be able to see, again, all of that pretty quickly and easily, and you'll be able to click on that particular player. You'll be able to see a full stats, game log, and career log for that particular player. So if that player, in this case, has played for a few years, you can click on and see that particular player, even if they've transferred from a different school. You'll be able to see all of that relevant information. Rosters, we are pretty much about 50% of the way through the NCAA right now. So we are very far ahead of schedule. It should all be in very soon. But between player pictures, personnel information, that should all be in the system here within the next few weeks or so as well. I'm going to jump here to the opponents tab. Like we saw for your team, you'll be able to see all of that same information for every other team in the system. You can toggle between divisions as well, but if I just choose on a random team here, I see the dashboard, the schedule, and the roster for every team, Division I, Division II, Division III. I have quick and easy access to all of that information, so you can look all of it up. I kind of consider all of this kind of pre-scouting report information, give you a good perspective of a team before you even jump into a scouting report, so that you can know the information that you need to know before you even start scouting that particular team. All right, I'm going to jump in here to the Scouts tab. This is where most of your work throughout the season will be done. You will notice here at the top, we have our own sections here: opponent scouts, self-scouts, offline scouts, templates, and archives. Opponent scouts being where you will create scouting reports about any other potential team that you may play or that you just want to be able to scout. Self-scouts will be scouting reports about your own team. So oftentimes we see things like either practice plans, being able to send out information to your players before practice about themselves, individual player assessments, create something about a particular player and send it to just that particular player, or even like team assessments. I have a whole stats sheet about my particular team. I want to have it keep updating throughout the season. I think those are 3 of the most common self-scouts that I see, but you can kind of create any piece of information using the data in our system and be able to distribute that either through the printing methods or the mobile app, however you'd like to do that. And then offline scouts, we'll talk about at the end. Obviously, this is an online platform, but you can work offline as well. And this offline scouts tab will be important for that. Templates, this will show the list of templates that you have in your account. We add a few by default, and then you can create as many as you would like. And then this is where you can kind of see that list, and you can also rename or delete if you'd like to be able to rename or delete any of your templates. And then your archive list will be kind of your deleted scouts. So any scout, after you're done with it, you can archive it, and that'll move it out of the opponent scouts tab and into the archive tab, which can at any point be retrieved if you'd like to retrieve it. All right, so let's jump into the workflow here. Anytime you're creating a new opponent scout, you will click New Opponent Scout. You will over here on the right-hand side where it is blank will be your upcoming schedule. It'll have probably about the next 7, 8, 9 games or so. I can't remember exactly which one it was. And you can just click on that particular game, and it's going to populate all this information at the top for you, the top 2 sections. However, you can, of course, fill this out manually. You know, maybe it's a preseason tournament or early season tournament where you're playing a team, you don't know who you're playing yet, but you just need to create scouting reports about both teams. You can easily come in here, select any team from our database, Division 1, 2, or 3, click on that particular team, select the season, scouting report name. You can name it whatever you would like, preseason. And then the important thing that I like to mention is the game date. The game date is the date that the stats will automatically update until. So what do I mean by that? If I create this scouting report today, October 6th, but I set the game date for October 27th, and let's say Denver, in the meantime, plays 4 games between now and October 27th. Those 4 games will just, as soon as they're in the system, will automatically update in the scouting report. So you'll have, you'll look at it in the morning, they play the game, then you'll look at it at night, you'll see after that game, the stats have all been updated throughout the scouting report. Those stats will update till that date. And then after that, when you look back November, December, January, February, it'll look the same as it did on that particular game date. So they don't update after the game you play against them. I always like to mention that it's a very common mistake people make. If you ever do, I will show you as soon as I create the scouting report how to change that. But you can come here to save templates, and this is going to be another key term, is the template. The template is where you will have kind of your building blocks, your start, I call it the starting point for your scouting reports. Click here. I'm just going to choose this one at the top here, and I'm going to create my scouting report with that particular template. We'll talk more about creating and editing templates as we go through this, but this is going to be, again, the template you're going to want to have set is going to be exactly the starting point you will want for any particular team. It is going to remember what we call tiles. What is taking so long? It's going to what we call tiles. And it's going to automatically place them on the particular page, the shape and size of those particular tiles, where they are on the page, and with stats and things like that, the exact settings that they have. So for example, like in this particular tile, this is a text tile. I have it placed on the page in this way. And I even saved text in this particular tile that will automatically be there. So maybe it's like, what does this team do on offense? And you separate against man defense, against zone defense, against baseline out of bounds, against sideline out of bounds. What do they like to do? You always are going to have those separations. You can already put the text in your scouting report so that you only need to fill out those bullet points. For stats, I'll show, like, for example, I have it set in my template that the points are on the right-hand side, that I'm sorting accordingly. But if I click here, I can change these settings. So I'm going to go to the box score, and I'm going to come here to settings, and you can change exactly what stats are showing up. So I have kind of a very standard box score, but maybe let's say I want to add turnovers in as well. I can select turnovers. I'll see down here at the bottom, turnovers appear, and I can drag and drop the columns in any order that I want. I'll also note on this page that you can toggle between average and totals. Averages are in gray, totals are in the dark gray. So you can click on any particular stat and it'll switch between average and totals. average being per game, totals being the total amount for whatever stat split I choose. What is the stat split? Stat split is the type of games that are being played. So generally speaking, I choose all games, but you can choose conference, home, away. You can choose like last 5 games. If you've played that team before, you can choose it just on that split of having played that team. You have complete control. And at the beginning of the season, we can usually switch to last season as well. So we can pull in all the stats from last season. And so I'll come in here. Oh, and then just as well, you can also go to your players here and you can edit which players are showing up. So like Sophia Zulich hasn't played. I can unselect her from this, hit save, and she'll no longer be showing up in here. So you can see those edits that I made. Turnovers are in there. You can see that these are totals instead of averages for those particular stats. Sophia isn't showing up in there. You again have complete control over that information where you can kind of manage that accordingly. And again, once you have that kind of set up the way you want, that can be part of your template. I'll mention this again, just you can hit, this is where you can update your template as well. So if I make those changes, I want those changes moving forward, I can hit save. Now, the next time I open the scouting report, it's going to populate with last season stats. The points are going to be in this descending order. Turnovers will be part of the box score, et cetera, et cetera. So again, just to kind of reiterate that all of these stats tiles, you have control over what year, what types of games the stats are populating from. You have the ability to control which stats are showing up, and then you can set it into your template so that moving forward, it will always show up like that. So that you can manage, so it can be really quick and easy for you, so that you just come into here and you type in what are your keys to win this game. The stats will be there generated automatically in the exact format that you want. And you might only need to change it. Maybe at the beginning of the season, you switch the first couple of games to last season, or you switch maybe near the end of the season, you do conference games or something like that. It's only would be when you want to change something in the scouting report, which is very quick and easy to do throughout the report. So I'll scroll down here, showing some of these stats. FastScout factors, we saw that. Team stats, again, a lot of these are because they're obviously not, they're obviously from last season, or there's no stats yet this season, but we could switch to last season stats if we would want to. But they'll kind of populate teams. The stat splits is what do they do in all their games, last 5 games as a team? What are their stats in those particular time frames? What do they do when they win? What do they do when they lose, home, away? You can do this both offensively and defensively. You can pull in top scorers. So who are their best and worst at particular stats? So again, this would be one I flipped to last season just so you can kind of see. And I'll do this for free throw shooters as well. And with this as well, you can set minimums. So they have to attempt, 0.5 free throws per game. Or if I set it as totals, they've had to shoot 10 free throws this season for it to count. But I'll flip this again to last season so we can kind of see that populate. And again, you can sort by the worst free throw shooters, the best free throw shooters, however you want to organize it. You can be able to have that done. And then you can have as many listed here as you want. If you want just 3 players, or if you want 15 players, or all 15 players listed, you can have it as few or as many as you'd like. As I scroll down through here, we also have lineup stats as well. Lineup will be the particular stats for particular groups of players. So I'll be able to see again, only from last season. Players can either be 1 through how many players in the lineup. So when a group of 3 players are on the floor together, what are the team stats when those 3 players are on the floor together? So I'll just hit save here so we can kind of see that quickly. But yeah, when these 3 players are on the floor together, the team has played 360 minutes. They have a 97.8 offensive rating, 95.8 defensive rating, et cetera, et cetera. And you can do that for 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, 5 players. So you can see when this group of 5 players on the floor together specifically, they do really well or they don't do really well, et cetera. We have depth charts that will allow you to select from the roster pick and choose where they go in there. Again, quickly and easily will pull directly from that team's roster. And you can change this from point guard, shooting guard, small forward to full position names, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However is easiest for you. That's that little toggle here on the right. And then we jump into personnel. I think personnel is obviously a really big one, so I want to focus mostly on this. Personnel, let's start first. When you populate it in, before one game is played in the season, it's going to populate alphabetically. So that's why it's Atkins, Brandon, Council, etc. After the first game of the season, it is going to start sorting by minutes played per game. So whoever plays the most minutes is going to be first, second, third, second most minutes is going to be second, et cetera, throughout the scouting report. Most of the time, it's going to be pretty close to the order that you want, but you're probably going to want to change it slightly. It's really easy to do. If you come here, click on this 3-dot menu, you'll be able to reorder player tiles. Click on that, and I'll be able to drag and drop players in the exact order that I want. So let's say I want those 3 players first. I can do so, hit save, and now those 3 players are going to be in that exact order here. The player tiles are customizable, just like what was I saying? Just like every other stats, like the box score was, or every other stats tile throughout the report is. You can easily click here on the 3-dot menu. You can hit settings, and this is going to allow you to either switch the stats for that one particular player. So maybe there's a few stats that are very particular to this player that you want to be able to show. You can add it for just that player. Most of the time, you're probably going to edit for everybody. You'll select that, and I can switch, for example, like all games to just last season. This will switch everybody to last season stats. You can also create custom splits as well. If you'd like to be able to put in something manually or pick like very specific games and have those ones populate. And then again, you can choose the stats that you would like to be showing. Maybe you want to throw in like plus minus or something else about that player, you can do so. So I'll hit save. It'll take just a second to upload here or to update here, and you can do that. So that's going to be how to change kind of the, I would say, stats and information for each player. You can see that last season has been updated. Yep, you can see here, yeah, she has all of her stats in there quickly, as you see. You can also do this for shot charts as well. Go in there, switch that to last season. So you can kind of see what the shot chart looks like for that particular player last year as well. All of these tiles have what we call subtiles to it. You may see me just editing that a little bit, but you can drag and drop, place everything around the personnel tile to make it look exactly like you want. And you can add even other tiles as well. So you can add additional text tiles, tables, images, or the shot chart, which you see on the right-hand side there. You can add that. So for example, maybe I want to have 2 boxes side by side here to type in, maybe tendencies of this player and then how we want to defend it, how we want to defend her. I can just drag, move things however I want to move them, add another text box in, resize however I want to resize it, and then move that over here. And kind of manage that. So you can kind of see, put that together. Now I can put how to defend and tendencies. And you have all of your typical word processing functionalities: bold, italicized, underline, change the size and shape, or change the font size, can change color, text color, or highlight, bullet point number, etc. Anything that you would pretty much want to do, you'll be able to do. And again, you can format it however you would like. I typically recommend when you're setting up your template, format one tile, get it exactly the way you want. And then I can come in here, hit apply player layout, and that will apply to everyone. So I hit save. So again, we'll take a second for everything to go through and adjust, but you'll notice that now every single player has the same 2 tiles listed there, the shot charts, etc., in the same spot. So you can kind of, that layout of everybody can kind of move forward across everybody. I'm going to pause for just a second. I've talked here for 20 straight minutes, so I'll pause, see if there's any questions that anybody has. After this, we're going to kind of dive right into video, adding video to the reports, and then move towards the distribution and the other things that you're able to do. But I like in terms of templates, getting that set up, kind of creating the scouting reports, things like that. If there's any questions on that, please let me know. All right, I have one question here. It is basically just asking, what is all remembered in the template? What does the template remember? The template will remember every single tile, where it is on the page, how many of that tile. So for personnel, for example, if you have 10 personnel tiles saved on your page, it will automatically populate 10 players for you. If you save 12, it'll populate 12. If you maybe want 12 sometimes, but then only want 11, you can easily, of course, delete if you need to delete. But it will remember the stats, the order that the stats are in, the way that they're sorted, what splits they are. It will remember all of that information for you. So again, and it will remember text, where all the text is. So if I have how to defend in tendencies everywhere I need that, I'll only need to fill out the bullet points underneath, or however you like to write it out. So that is for you. All of the stuff that could be considered redundant, I would say, for a particular team would be automatically populated based on the template. And again, if you ever need any help kind of getting that set up, please feel free to reach out to our support team, support@fastmodeltechnologies.com, and we'll always be happy to set something up to kind of connect with you and help you out, making sure that that's all squared away for you. I would say that's kind of the fundamental thing of preseason, is getting that template set up the way you like it. Awesome. Thank you for that question. And again, just to follow up on that, if you ever do make changes and you go, I want this to be the change moving forward, I can hit create template here. You can either create it as a brand new template. Again, you can have as many templates as you would like, or you can update the existing template. So the next time you or anybody else on your staff uses this particular template, it will populate with those changes. So maybe it's something like you switch the beginning of the season, you switch to last season stats, the next 3 games you're planning on doing that, you can go ahead, switch it there. Then when you go back, you can switch it back. That's an example of something that I might see. Cool. Awesome. All right, let's start talking video. Again, there's a lot of different tile options here. I could take an hour and go through all of the different options that you can do and ways you can kind of do that. But I think it's really important to be able to jump into video and adding that into your scouting report. So you'll notice on every single tile, whether it's each individual player or even like lineup stats or any stats box or text box here at the top, in the top left corner, there's a little video icon that you can click to add video. So I'll click this, and you'll be able to add video in 2 different ways. If you have an MP4 MOV file of that video, you can add it straight from your computer, or you can add it straight from the Synergy video editor. So if you've clipped in your Synergy editor, I can click right here, and you just have to log in. So I'll quickly log in. And this will pull up all of the clips and edits that you have created in your system. So every time you create an edit, that will show up. Again, we're pulling directly from your Synergy editor. So you'll see it all here in just a second. There we go. And you can see all the different edits you've created, how many clips are in that edit. So let's say like this Iowa Illinois game, I click there, and I'll see all the clips that I've placed in there. I can filter by tags I've put on those clips, by the result, team, period, even the player, things like that. When I've kind of picked out the player, so maybe I want to do, made 2-point shots by Keegan Murray. I'll select that. I can either select all the clips in that particular filter range, or I can select clips individually. I will do just all 4 here, hit done. And now you'll see from this particular edit, I'm selecting 4 clips to add in. I can even add clips from other edits as well and add those 4 clips in. And you'll see automatically those come right over and you're able to play them quickly and easily from our platform. You can also drag and drop, place them in any order that you want, and you can throw any notes on those particular clips that you'd like to. So it could be like notice him, notice backdoor cuts or something like that. You can do that and then hit save. And I think scroll down to that player. You'll notice I have 4 clips on that particular player, and I can add that again throughout my report. Excuse me. So again, yep, you'll be able to do that throughout the report. Any particular tile you want to be able to add videos or anything like that, you'll be able to do that. You're also able to add your plays from FastDraw to the scouting reports. So you can see here, you have your plays tab down below. I can, every time I fast share from FastDraw, that will upload all my plays to FastScout, and then I can choose any particular plays and add those into my scouting report. So I'll see all my plays in my database. You can even add video to the plays, and then you can add them into the scouting reports as well. All right, let's talk distribution. You can, of course, print. That is obviously a very common method for scouting reports. Printing that off will get you exactly what you see. So what's nice about this platform is that you are seeing each page. You can see where it cuts off at the end, et cetera, et cetera. You'll be able to print that off, have that available for you quickly and easily, and you know exactly what it looks like because you are previewing it as you are getting ready to print it. We have a second distribution method called presenter mode. I would say this is kind of typical for film rooms or one-on-one sessions with players. You simply click on this play icon. You will see all of your tiles throughout the scouting report, and they will be listed as slides in a slideshow. So I can jump to free throw shooters here. I'll see exactly what that particular tile was. And then you can even jump to players. You'll see all that information that you've put in there for that particular player. And then you can jump straight into those video clips and be able to play those video clips and move on and so forth and so forth. So again, really good for a film room or one-on-one, pull out a computer, work with a player, things like that. That's where it'd be particularly valuable for. The third option and the most popular option in our platform is utilizing the mobile app. So if I click here, click on the mobile app, the mobile icon, I will see all the players and coaches that are listed on my account. I can either select one player, I can select everybody. I can pick and choose exactly who I want to send it to and hit save. And that is going to send it out to my mobile app, which is available on iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. And I will show you what that looks like right now. So let me jump over to my iPad. Why is it not letting? That's technical difficulties in moving over to the iPad. Let's move back here to the web a second while I figure that out. All right, try one more time. There we go. Open up FastScout, and we are in our FastScout platform. So this is, again, it'll look the same on Android, iPhones. This is my iPad, but you'll have over here on the left-hand side, all of your opponent and self scouts. I can easily click on that scout we just created, and it is going to load up here, and you'll see all of those same tiles in the exact same order throughout the report. So I'll see keys to win, and then be able to click on that, and I will see all of those keys to win this game. Can jump through, go to like free throw shooters, another one we saw. Again, quickly and easily be able to see that information without having to do much. And then we'll scroll down to like a player. Look at Emily here. We'll see the player information here at the top, the stats, how to defend, tendencies, And then that shot chart that we had for that player, nice, big and bold. And then all those video clips right down there at the bottom, and your notes that you put in will show up there as well. You can either click each video one at a time, or you can hit the play all. It'll play just like a playlist. Nice and easy, again, for your players to have all that information together in one easy spot right from their phone. And then you'll see that's throughout the report. You'll even be able to see stuff like the plays that you've added in here in the scouting report, be able to see all those frames. You can zoom in closer and further away. And any video clips you added in would be right down there at the bottom. For players as well, they'll also be able to download this entire report. So this little cloud icon here at the top, that will allow that that scouting report and all the video attached to be downloaded to the player's phone or iPad, so they can watch it on the road offline with no internet connection. They'll be able to look through the entire scouting report. So yeah, if you're ever heading out on a bus trip or something like that, just let the team know, download the scouting reports. They'll be able to watch the film on that trip. And again, you'll be able to see all of your different scouting reports that you've sent out listed here. As a coach, you can manage that very easily. Who can see what for how long? You'll have complete control, which I'll go over just a little bit more here when we get back to the web. But while we're here on the app, I can hit the plays tab. I'll see all the plays that have been sent out to me. So you can send out plays separately from scouting reports. You'll be able to see all those ones that are separate. And you'll also be able to see any video clips that you attached as well for those particular plays. You can do the same thing with playbooks and videos as well. You can send out videos separate from scouting reports. So maybe you record practice or something like that. You want to send that out to your players. Again, I'll show you how to do that from the website, but if your players, this will be able to see it, be able to play it right here from the mobile app. Yep. So let's jump back to the web. As I do that, any questions at all on the mobile app? Hopefully pretty simple. Again, from the mobile app is a viewing tool that will be where you get to look at scouting reports, watch the film, things like that. And you as a coach will be able to get information from that. But it's mostly a viewing tool. It's not where you're going to be working on scouting reports. Players won't be able to edit anything or anything like that. It is a viewing tool for the reports. Awesome. So we're back here on the web. I'm going to hit done on the scouting report, go back to the Scouts tab. In the same way that we sent this out to our team, if I click here and I unselect everybody and hit save, that will remove that scouting report from the mobile app. So if I jump back onto the mobile app, you'll see that scouting report is no longer there. So like I said, you can control who sees what for how long. So if you want to send it out 2 days before the game, then after the game, pull it back, you have complete control over that. We see some teams just send out all the scouting reports throughout the year. Players can see them all. Some are very particular about how long they can see it, things like that. So you can do exactly however you would like. With this as well, there's also the mobile usage. You'll see each user. We noticed that as I went through this, I opened 4 tiles on the scouting report. So it shows that I opened 4 out of the 40 tiles, and I watched 0 out of the 4 videos that are on the scouting report. So it's, again, a little bit of information for you as a coach that I, as a user, I opened the scouting report, I looked through at least a little bit of it. And for a video to count as watched, you have to watch 80% of the video. So if it's a 10-second clip, you have to watch 8 seconds of it for it to count. So you can't just hit play, pause, and have that count. Cool. I mentioned downloading the scouting report for players on their phone. If you would ever like to do that for your scouting report and be able to work on it offline, there is what we call offline mode. That'll be right here. I can click on offline mode. That will download the scouting report to a computer, to the computer that I downloaded it on. So this particular one, that will allow me, if I'm not connected to the internet, I can still come over to this offline Scouts tab and be able to work on it, be able to add information in like I would being online. The only difference, I can't do video, you can't do video offline, but most of your text and things like that, you'll be able to do offline. You can work on it. Then when you're back connected to the internet, just come in here, hit Bring Scout Online. That will upload all of those changes for you. So you can see it takes just a second, but it'll be there from the Offline Scouts tab here. So just as kind of a generic thing, any amount of coaches can work on a scouting report at the same time. You can have multiple coaches working on the same scouting report at the same time. When it goes offline, only the coach that downloads it can work on that scouting report when it's offline. So that only stays that case for that we have that simultaneous editing feature for online scouts. For offline, it's still just the coach that downloads it can work on it offline. I hope that makes sense. It's obviously when you download it, becomes local to that particular computer. So it would be really hard to be able to do. Yeah, I'll jump over here, kind of finish the tour. Plays, I kind of showed this from the mobile app already, but every time you fast share from FastDraw, all of your plays will update here. You can see all of your plays listed here on the right-hand side, and then you can add video to them as well. Same process, click add video, either MP4 MOV, maybe record it in practice or something, or you can upload it from your Synergy editor. And then you can distribute those in the same way out to the mobile app. And then players and coaches will be able to see it on the mobile app in the same way, and you'll get usage, how many times that play was viewed, how many videos on that play were watched by each user it was sent out to. And then videos over here, you'll see all of your different videos. You can add as many as you would like. We do not have limits on the amount that you can store on FastScout. So if you record a practice every day, you can upload it and be able to distribute that through our platform. I believe the only limit we have is, I think, 10 gigs for one file. So if you have somehow a clip that's over 10 gigs, you can just split it into 2 clips and upload both of them. But I think it's just one file, can't be more than 10 gigs. And again, you can send these out to players and coaches. Same way, be able to see how many times that film has been viewed, et cetera, et cetera. Awesome. That is, again, that's the kind of the tour of FastScout. I call this kind of the starting point, kind of on that journey. If you would like some time to go a little more in depth on some of the individual features, making sure your template is set up properly, please feel free to reach out to our support team, support@fastmodeltechnologies.com. You can also click on help here, and that's going to open up a page for you to be able to access and write into us. We will be happy to send out a calendar link so that you can access a time that works for you, and that we'll hop on with you and be able to help you out kind of on an individual basis. So yeah, that's kind of, again, FastScout in a nutshell. I don't see any other questions, but I'll stay on for another minute or two, see if there are any questions at all. But if not, please, thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to working with you this season.